Hello, welcome to Homemaking with Mema. My name is Wendy, and in today's video we're going to be doing a little bit of light housekeeping, and we're also going to be making, using up some of our freezer and pantry items that we had gone through in our previous video. So I'm going to be making some creamy wild rice soup. So I'm going to be using one of those packets and also some chicken breast, and then I'm also going to be making some lunch meat sandwiches for the freezer so I can have some sandwiches made ahead for when I go to work. And if you're interested in this content, join along. So I'm trying to use stuff up in my pantry and my freezers. I went and I got a package of cleaned chicken breast. I always clean them before I vacuum seal them. And that's been thawing out in the refrigerator for a couple days. And then I picked out to make this, to use it up, creamy wild rice, the shore lunch. We're just going to follow the directions here. But if it does have any kind of chicken in it, I want extra chicken. That is why I am doing this. So, actually, to save your pans, just put a little bit of parchment paper down. Parchment paper works better for you if you crinkle it up and then open it back up and then it forms. You can get it to form better in your pan. I'm going to open that up. Get that parchment paper in there. This is 2 chicken breasts. I'm going to pour this residue down the sink before I throw the package away so I don't have extremely wet stuff in my... And then I'm going to wash my hands because I want to get some seasoning on there. I'm just going to put salt, pepper, and I need to use up some garlic herb stuff that we have. So I'm just going to use salt, pepper, and this salt-free garlic herb on the chicken. Just to season it up so that when we're going to cook it in the oven, because I have other things I need to get done, and this way then I don't have to babysit it. Yes, I do know that the garlic and herb was salt-free, but it's something that we need to use up, and I am putting salt on the chicken. I'm just going to take a fork. So this way I don't have to go and run and wash my hands. I'm going to season both sides. I've got the oven heating up at 350. And we'll probably have it in the oven. We'll check it after 20 minutes, but it's probably going to be a little bit longer than that. So here you're going to see that I'm going to be checking that chicken, and I had it in the oven for 20 minutes and it wasn't quite enough. So I decided to put it back into the oven for another 15 minutes.
As you can see here, I forgot to put my apron on, and I didn't want my black shirt to be like all white spotted from the cleaning solution, so I went and put it on. So while I was cleaning, the timer had gone off. So I decided I better go in and check the chicken. And so I washed up my hands and I checked it and I decided, oh, I better cut it open with a knife. So I got a knife and I cut it open and I decided that I needed to leave it in there for at least another 6 minutes. So I did that. So the timer had gone off for the chicken, so I stopped vacuuming and I took the chicken out.
So that chicken and wild rice soup that we created earlier is all done and cooked up. I'm going to let it cool off, and then I'm going to put it in a storage container and put it in the refrigerator, and we will eat it not tomorrow because I have, yeah, tomorrow for supper. All right, there it is. So I am going to make sandwiches to put in the freezer. I do this all the time. I have some Black Forest ham here, and I do not like soggy sandwiches. So I get as much moisture off the ham and turkey or chicken or whatever I'm using. I get as much moisture off of them as I possibly can. I just do not like wet sandwiches. I don't have to do it with like the hard salami that I have right here. I have some hard salami. That doesn't tend to have a lot of moisture, but ham and chicken and turkey breast, you know, when you get the deli meats, that tends to. So I've got what's left over of the ham here. Got the moisture off of that. Is it a waste of paper towels? Yes. Is it worth me wanting to be able to eat that sandwich without feeling grossed out? Absolutely. But if I do a bunch of different meats, I try to reuse the paper towel because all the meats are going to be together on the sandwich anyway. So I'll reuse the paper towel unless it gets to the point where you can't reuse it. So then I've got just the hoagie buns, I think they're called. The sub rolls. I've got wheat sub rolls here. We like to have the wheat. I could make my own, but I don't know. My sub rolls have never turned out like you can when you store buy them. I like the chewiness of it. I don't know, call me different, but that's what I like about it when I'm eating a sandwich like this, like a sub style sandwich. Now, what I do to prevent even more moisture or not soaking into the bread, I've got some unsalted butter here. We eat all unsalted butter. Then we can just add salt if we wanted to a recipe. And I butter both sides of the sub roll. I don't have any cheese to put on it today. I don't like using, the processed cheese that works best for like grilled cheese. I like deli cheese. I don't have any. We're limiting at what we're buying this month just to cut costs because we have a lot of food. And I told my family, let's try to eat what we have. Now, when you have pepperoni, this one's more flexible, but usually if you buy some pepperoni, it doesn't want to fold up like I did. So I always cut it in half. And as you see, I folded so it's not hanging over. So it's not hanging over. I just folded like the top quarter of it and lay it down. And then my next meat that I put on, I'll, see how it's a half moon. Then I'll put the round part on the top like that. And because this is not going to be no cheese on here, I'll do a couple pieces of them. And then I'll take my other meat. There we go. Could be the OCD in me. It probably is. But that's something I have to live with, not you. All right, so that makes for a good sandwich. It would be better with cheese, but they're going to be cheeseless. And I'll just do the rest of these here. There's a third one. Now I've only got one piece of ham here, so this one's going to be, I'll put the one piece of ham there. And that's okay. And then it's going to be loaded up on salami. Why not? It's what we have. It's what I'm going to use. Might not use all of this, but I certainly will use most of it to make it a hearty sandwich anyway. I have just a little bit there. I think I'm just going to use it up. Why put it back in the refrigerator? Nobody's going to know what it is. What's this, Mom? Oh, that's some salami. There we go. So I finished it up. Used it all up. So if I'm going to put it in, if I'm going to take it to work, I don't eat a whole sandwich. I usually cut it in half at a diagonal, and I have these containers that I use for sandwiches. But if I'm going to put it into the freezer, then I usually wrap them up. So let me wash my hands here. And we'll get them wrapped up. They don't usually stay in the refrigerator that long. I double wrap them to help with freezer burn, just in case they get lost in the freezer. Then I usually try to push out what air I can. And then the bread bag that the buns came in, I just reused that and I put them back in here. Why not? Why get out a Ziploc bag when I already have a bag here? So I'm gonna put them all back in there, and then they'll be contained in the freezer. I like sandwiches.
My husband is not a huge fan of sandwiches. He will eat them. But he'd prefer to have something that he could heat up in the microwave, or but he will take sandwiches. I really like sandwiches because you can hold them, eat them, and then you're done. So I've gotten a lot done today. I brought you with me. We swept the kitchen floor. We vacuumed the hallway and the living room. I didn't mop my kitchen. I do that. We don't have that much traffic anymore. I do it once every 2 weeks, unless it really needs it. There's not a lot of stuff being tracked in right now. It's winter time. Then I brought you along with me to, actually I need one of these out for, because I work tomorrow. So I'll keep one out. I'll just put it in the refrigerator. These I'm going to put in the freezer. And there they are, all wrapped up, protected, and I'll put them in the freezer.
I want to thank you for joining me today while I did some light housekeeping and we did a little bit of cooking. And if you're interested in more content like this, please join my channel, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to it. You make it a great day.